Okay, testing one, two, three. This is my first attempt at podcasting, and it's a good thing it's not a visual. I've only worked 12 hours today, and I'm exhausted. One of my favorite things to do is talk a lot about everything. Since that's what I do best, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm always having this debate with my nephew, and he seems to think that anybody can be rich and famous if you do something consistently. So this has been a challenge. He said that probably within 90 days, I'm going to be a gazillionaire and I won't have to work anymore because I will get tons of people to listen to me bitch, moan, and complain about what a wonderful day I had. So, with that said, every day will be a different topic. We have lots of stuff to discuss because I have lots of gripes about many things. From being lazy, which I may be accused of from time to time, dealing with people. I'm trying to refinance a house, and I can't even begin to tell you what a nightmare that is. And for those of you who are 12 years old and don't know what it is to buy a house, if you podcast a lot and make a lot of money, then you too will be in the same situation that I'm in today, probably about 4 decades earlier. So congratulations to all you Gen X people or whatever, Gen Y or Z, whatever you're calling each other. Which brings me to my first complaint. Kids today, they're wonderful. They're free-spirited, kind of like what the people in the 60s were trying to do with a lot of drugs, better living through chemistry. Only the scary thing is these kids don't do drugs if you don't count the vaping and the pods and all that other fun stuff. So you have names for everything. When I was joking about Gen X, Y, Z, my other pet peeve is people who are what we used to call bisexual in the day. Now they're fluid, gender fluid, polyamorous, trans. Everyone has a name basically, but at the end of the day, when you cut to the chase, kids, there's asexual, bisexual, and trisexual. You'll try anything sexual. You don't have to give it a different name. It is what it is. So everybody relax, take a deep breath, and you don't have to recognize he and she and it and them and they when they come into a room. We're going back old school. Hey, dude. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you think this is funny, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that's why I just want to get you young kids back on track. I don't know, somewhere we fell off the wagon here. My favorite nephew, 19, and he can't do laundry. We're working on that. This has been a fun evening. We were trying to learn how to fold clothes. So what I'm going to do is try to get everybody back on track, independent, taking care of themselves. I don't know how to break this to you guys, but we're not all Kardashians. We don't have lots and lots of money and boyfriends who are rappers and girlfriends who are crazy. So you're going to have to learn to fend for yourself at some point. I'm really a little worried for you kids. I don't know what's going to happen. You have very expensive taste. You like really nice stuff, no doubt. But, how long can you live in your parents' house? Give them a break. Get the hell out of the house. Who has a 10-minute attention span anymore? Do you know? Speaking of, we're watching TV. Watching TV. TV's on. It's probably watching us. I'm on the iPad. He's on the iPhone. And I said, look at this. This is just sad. We can't even watch television without being obsessed with social media, text messages. We feel like we always have to be in the know and we have to know what's going on. And people, if I see one more stupid picture with ears and whiskers on Facebook and Insta, I'm going to vomit. Stop. It's not cute. Looking like a retarded animal is not cute, okay? It's annoying and it's stupid. And if you're over 50 and overweight, please don't put ears on yourself. It really looks bad. Okay? I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail because I have no fans. I don't have to worry about hate mail, but it's not a look. I'm just here to help everybody and tell you the truth. This is called Reality Check with Eileen. Welcome to the party. All right, remember, kids, everything I do for you because I love you. Okay, so we were talking about before we got off topic, and I may have a little ADD here because I will do that. I'll jump from place to place. We were talking about my refi. So I'm having this big fight. In order to refinance this house, I have to get what they call comps, which means they look at recent sales in the neighborhood, and that's how they establish what the value of my home is. That's the long and short of it. I did not like what they came back with. I didn't agree with it. And so I start sending emails and trying to get in touch with people, and everyone's telling me I can't do it. There's nothing we can do. It's not up to us. It's up to the appraiser. I call the appraiser. They tell me, we can't talk to you. We are strictly bound to speak to the bank people. We have nothing to do with you. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. The bank can't help me and you can't help me, but I'm supposed to accept something that is clearly not correct. Okay. Well, here's your big life lesson. Don't ever let anybody tell you that we've done all we can do. There's always more that can be done. So life never being fair. If you don't make your own breaks, you're not getting any breaks. So I called the lady and I go, I'm so-and-so Eileen Gray. You did an appraisal. Do you work for the bank? I go, no, I don't work for the bank. I own the house. I can't talk to you. I go, what do you mean you can't talk to me? They took my money to pay you. How are you not speaking to me? I can't speak to you. And I'm trying to explain, she took a house in a different area from where my house was, and it was in a lower valued neighborhood, which brought my value down. And I go, how can you do that? It's not even the same neighborhood. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you. Well, we submitted some more comps to see if you can take that out. And she had 5, and out of the 5, she picked 3. And one of the 3 was this lower house where she based more than 60% of her decision on. So I'm thinking, I don't know much about refinancing houses and appraising houses, but I can tell you this doesn't seem right. So the internet, I go online, look up this lady. Turns out she was still in appraisal school when she was doing my appraisal. And if that's not bad enough, she worked selling Avon. And then before that, she was working in the complaint department selling cars. And I'm thinking, the bank is telling me she's a professional and knows what she's doing. The internet is a strong tool, I'm telling you. I'm not even going to comment on, when her picture came up and I went, okay, doesn't look like the sharpest tool in the shed, but you know what? But when I started reading her prior work experience, it had nothing to do with real estate. And no one's listening to me. No one's taking this seriously. So anyway, we'll get back to that when it gets resolved. It's up in the air. But the bottom line here is, if something doesn't feel right, if you feel like you're not being taken seriously, listened to, don't walk away. Don't just shrug your shoulders and say, well, that's just the way it is. You know what it brings to mind? Felicity Huffman. When you commit a crime and you get 14 days in club fed. The woman who shot the guy in Texas that was her neighbor, she went into the wrong apartment, missed her apartment, and she got 10 years. And there's so many inequities. And really, basically, what it boils down to is power struggles. Whoever has the most power gets away with a lot, which will bring us to our latest fiasco called the United States Senate and the government as a whole. You're smiling. You're like, oh, this ought to be good. Yeah, okay. We will talk a lot about that because that's just a crazy thing going on now. But again, reality check with Eileen. I'm going to have to check myself today. This is just one in a series, our first, starting off. And I hope that you guys will come back and listen to all the other wonderful things I have to say about my life and life in general. Okay, guys, take care, and thanks so much for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe.